Hello everyone and welcome back to Story Mode of Final Fantasy XIV, and welcome to Idyllshire, the home of the Gobbies. Formerly home of the Sharlayans and Y'shtola and Alphino and such, but now home of the Gobbies. And they will not give it up. No, they will not. That's fine. Hopefully we can join their fine little nation. Slowfix wants you to eliminate the golems that prowl Idyllshire.
So Uplanders agree to help. Good. Here is what Slowfix wants Uplanders to do. Many golems prowl Idyllshire. Get in the way of expansion plans. Slowfix wants Uplanders to eliminate golems. Uplanders are Sharlayan, yes? Sharlayans should know best way to deal with creatures.
Should they? Do you all know what they're talking about? Sentinel golems. I dare say Y'shtola will know how to deal with them. Okay, well, at least one of us does. So, we're to eliminate the golems. That should be a simple enough affair. The automata were employed as sentinels, and by design can be unmade with a coded command. At the time of the Exodus, it was noughts and crosses, and I see no reason why it should not still work. Let us divide the task between the three of us. They're quicker to be finished with it. With the chat mode in Say, use your keyboard, or the software keyboard, to enter the coded command, noughts and crosses, to unmake a golem. Gotta say it out loud. It's the only way it's gonna work. Alright, let's find these things. So this is another little town hub, one of the smaller ones, that players will congregate in, kind of similar to Mordona in A Realm Reborn. So there, let's see. /S, noughts, and crosses. Boop. It works. With the shutter, the golem crumbles to pieces. Happy to help. Oh, hey, they've even got a little Ethernet shard here. I think they've only got one or two of them in the place. Again, it's a small location. Size-wise, I mean, this is the whole thing. Anyway, where is this? Here we go. So, you know, noughts and crosses. And we're done. As a Warcraft peasant might say, job's done. That was stupid, sorry. Of all the luck, one of my golems was not receptive to the password and tried to pummel me bloody. Thankfully, I managed to dance clear of its fist and strike it down. Well, good for you. I am pleased to report that my golems obediently crumbled at my command. Of course they would.
Golems are no more? Wonderful. Now we can resume work to expand settlement.
Fantastic. Happy to help. Ooh, and a lancer's arm, you say? Not bad looking. Yeah, why not? I'll use that, unless these just look way cooler. It's a pretty cool monk weapon. It is a pretty cool monk weapon, though. Not bad ninja daggers either. And an okay shield. Honestly, I kind of want to go with the monk weapon, if I'm honest. It's a decent lance, but I got plenty of those. Anyway, Slowfix has the look of a goblin who is about to ask a favor. Oh, I know this face well.
Uplanders helped Gobbyflock, earned right to be citizens of Idyllshire, but Slowfix must ask another favor.
Another favor, you say?
Short time ago, dear friend of Slowfix ventured into Illuminati territory. Illuminati are nasty goblins, show no mercy even towards Gobbykin. Slowfix fears for friend's life. Please find friend before Illuminati do.
I'm suddenly taken by a sense of foreboding. Be that as it may, we cannot turn a blind eye. Let's make haste and find Slowfix's friend. Let's do. Oh, it's raining. So it goes. Where are they? Outside, I guess, but I'm gonna guess back the direction we came. Let's see if we can find this buddy. Ah, here you go. Ooh. I like that you can even see kind of the crumbled, broken ruins of little aetherite crystals that would have been used for travel around here before it all fell to ruin. It's very good. Brayflox all talks? What? Old friend. The gobby what with the cheese and such. It was a Realm Reborn thing. I'm not just making up words.
Goodly Uplander. Long time no eye catch. What's bringing Uplander here? Does Uplander have lust eyes for junk of Brayflox? Uplander must not be touching junk of Brayflox. Brayflox is finding junk first.
I knew I recognized that voice. Greetings, Brayflox. It has been a while. Forgive us for interrupting your work, but Captain Wishkat gave me to understand that you are marked by the Illuminati. This happens to be Illuminati-held territory. Is it wise to be here?
Shock. Brayflox eat Illuminati for sunupses. Shkra. Who eats who for sunupses? Ah! Brayflox all talks. Unwise you are to come here after dirty talking secret knowings of cheesemake from Illuminati. Brayflox did no unright. Cheese recipe is gobby birthright. Save tongue flaps for trading in Death Pit.
Darn gobby lines are fun to read. Yikes.
Pray to Gobfathers, for punishment is near times.
It appears we have no choice. All right, to work and to battle.
Shka, Brayflox showy do Illuminati gobby trick or two.
Wait, I think that was a Brayflox line. Whatever.
To Death Pit with you.
Whatever this is about, Brayflox needs our help. I'm working on it, don't worry. No, don't set me on fire.
Tremble before might of Illuminati.
Oh, that's a lot of bombs. Whence came all these bombs? If you're curious, by the way. So,
Spill bladder not over strong fire bombs of Illuminati.
This is a boss. So, in A Realm Reborn, kind of in the end game during the expansions, they added a lot of extra dungeons to the game, many of which were like, whoa, geez, that was more damage than or more like AoE than I expected. They added a lot more bosses to the game, or a lot more dungeons to the game that were like harder mode versions of existing ones, like Sestasha and Brayflox Longstop. And they had like new layouts and all new bosses, and sort of had their own little stories or continued some of the little stories those dungeons had. And it was very cute. And I think this is the boss of the harder version of Brayflox Longstop. Now seems as good a time as any. I shall invoke a spell. Please do. There's so many gobbies. Pray, keep the enemy at bay. Trying. There are so many. Stola, what are you doing? Ride ye the wind. And become as light. Stola?
Ether, to me.
This wind is you, yes?
Have at you.
Whoa! Yowza. That worked. It is done. And so is this thing just about. Amazing, how'd you learn such a potent spell?
Huzzah! Uplander is Brayflox's Iron Fist. Illuminati no match for furious gobfists of Brayflox. More junk is awaiting Brayflox muchly. Brayflox is taking leave of Uplanders.
Well, Brayflox is okay, so job's done, I guess. So that was the famous Brayflox. I have newfound respect for the company of heroes. That a motley crew such as theirs could achieve the feats they did bespeaks unwavering solidarity. Being embroiled in a cheese war was the last thing I expected coming to Sharlayan. At any rate, we've fulfilled Slowfix's request. Let's return with the good tidings and be on our way. Let's do. That was silly. And back to Idyllshire. We return. One does not simply drift in the life stream. It's a constant struggle to hold on to your very essence. The experience has hardened me in ways I can ill explain. I'd known that Y'shtola was capable, but to invoke such potent magic so effortlessly, I must needs redouble my efforts if I'm to approach her level of mastery. Yeah, all of us. I agree.
Uplanders are back. Did Uplanders find friend of Slowfix? Shkah. Time has not cured recklessness of Brayflox. Without help from Uplanders, Brayflox would now be dead gobby. Slowfix owes Uplanders debt of gratitude. Slowfix and Brayflox are joined by unseverable gobby bond. If Slowfix had known that Uplanders are friends of Brayflox, Slowfix would have welcomed Uplanders to Gobbyflock at first meeting.
I guess we should have spoken up about it. I didn't really know to. What's this stuff look like? I might want it. Not bad, not bad. How about this revolver? It's alright, it's alright. Decent. And this... It's kind of cute with a little ladybug emblem thing. And one for Arcanists, which is a book. You know what? I'll take the gun. A grateful Slowfix is ready to grant you your heart's desire.
Uplanders have upheld bargain most highly. As promised, Slowfix makes Uplanders honored citizens of Idyllshire, free to cross river at will. Though Uplanders must leave for now, Slowfix hopes that Uplanders will pay many visits and help build great new nation.
You're most kind, my friend. You may be certain that we will return. I must confess, at first it upset me to learn that my home had been occupied by others, but I see now that it is in good hands. Under your care, I look forward to seeing Sharlayan thrive once more, to become a home to people of all races and creeds.
Slowfix has already ordered the Gobwatch to let Uplanders through. Safe travels.
Alphino, Derman, shall we then? Let's do. Ooh, a little bonus bit of information for you, if you're curious. So, Idyllshire originally did not look like this. Similar to Mordona, when you first encountered it in the story, the place was a pretty small settlement. I'm guessing, I didn't see it, I wasn't there at the time, but I'm guessing it was probably like just this little stretch, and there weren't nearly as many little buildings, and the Gobby structures had not extended to nearly like so far in any of these directions. But as you progressed further, as patches came out, and as the players did more activities out here in this area, I understand that the Gobby's camp here and all their structures kind of expanded and grew in complexity and stuff like that. And they've done that in several locations, similar, again, to Mordona, which was just a small little encampment that built out to a whole big place that we see it now. Unfortunately, there's not really a way to experience that anymore, sadly. Now for new players, when you show up, it's in its final form from the beginning. I didn't even know until somewhat recently when people mentioned that Idyllshire wasn't always like this. But still cool to know that that was the original experience of the place. Anyway, back out to the exit, and this time to the right. Hello. I shall be very cross if we are asked to clear this mountain of rubble. As will I. So we're free to go where, exactly?
By order of Chief Slowfix, Uplanders can come and go at will. One moment for clearing away barricade.
Finally, we can continue our journey. Oh. Good visual gag. Run! Ahem. Barring any misadventure, we shall soon arrive at the cave where Matoya resides. Unless you have unfinished business in Idyllshire, let us strike out at once. I'm ready whenever you are. Let us go and meet the legendary Matoya. A fire in the hole would not go amiss next time, gubbies. For future reference. Wait, no, we were supposed to talk to Y'shtola first. I almost got ahead of myself there. Ahead lies the answering quarter, where the scholars of Sharlayan gathered to hone their knowledge. Even from this distance, 'tis plain that much of it has been given back to the wilderness. Ah, you're making me choose between stuff again? Come on. I always want to choose between so much good stuff. It's impossible. This one, I guess. Oh. Level. Nice. Y'shtola is ready to lead you to Matoya's cave. Yeah, I was on my way. It's y'all who need to catch up. The cave in which Matoya resides is situated on the southern edge of the hinterlands. In choosing the spot, my master desired privacy above all else. As such, the cave is extremely well hidden. You'll not find it unless you know to look for it. We shall follow the road south until we reach a bridge. Rather than cross it, however, we shall ford the stream it spans, thence head straight until we arrive at the base of a bluff. Okay. Can do. This time we go. And we head southward. Ooh, and hey, Final Fantasy XI fans might recognize this enemy design. So good seeing them back. Stormblood's gonna have tons of old Final Fantasy XI monster designs as well, and I'm really happy seeing them. They're welcome additions. They were good designs then, and they deserve to be in a, frankly, more fun MMO. But yeah, this place is way more overgrown. I like it. And there's actually a reason for that. I don't think we're going to get into it in the main story. I think it's a side quest optional dungeon, but there is a, the Arboretum, I want to say, is extremely overgrown. There's some real, like, monster corruption going on in there. And the wildlife is going haywire, and thus this area has been claimed way faster. So that's a dungeon that you can opt into if you want in kind of the end game. Well, the Heavensward end game, anyway. And it has a whole story of its own and quests and whatnot, and, you know, the same way all of 14 works. Let's see. Here is the bridge, I'm guessing. And we need to instead ford the stream. Looks like we're headed generally the right way. Here we are. Hey, team. All kinds of herbs grow here, and they appear very well tended. This is the entrance. You seem unconvinced, Durman. Well, that will only add to the surprise. A word of warning before we proceed. Stubborn geniuses make poor hosts, and time will have done naught to improve my master's temperament. Doubt not but that there will be sentinels and traps both to deter unwanted guests, but we shall not be deterred, will we? Go on and touch the wall yonder. You'll want to have your weapon near at hand. Oh. Okay. An icy wall. Very well. Ah! Frogs!
None shall pass, Ribbit.
Come on, frogs. No. Knock it off. Y'shtola, you were right. Ooh. I should grab that before I forget. I think it's the last one I haven't gotten out here. Then I'll just have to do some quests off camera and we can have flight out here. Yay. Real grateful they reduced the number of these you gotta find in each area. At least for Heavensward and Stormblood. Makes my life easier. Those sentinels may suffice to discourage the average trespasser, but not the Warrior of Light. The way should be clear now. Come, let us go and see my master. Let's do. Oh, and Final Fantasy I fans, enjoy this. I know I did.
Don't you know it's rude to enter without knocking? The youth of today. No manners at all.
Though we neglected to knock, we did create something of a commotion. I had hoped that would suffice.
Heavy-handed as ever, I see. And still not a hint of grace. Some things never change.
To give credit where credit is due, I learned from the best. It has been too long, Master Matoya.
Indeed it has. Oh, it's good to see you again, my girl. And with your fiery spirit unquenched. But look at you, all grown up and womanly. The one there in the fancy duds, that's Louis Soir's granddaughter, I take it?
Ha.
Grandson, begging your pardons. You knew my grandfather, my lady.
Knew him? Ha! We were constantly at each other's throats, like rabid dogs we were. Oh, he was a stubborn bucker, was your grandfather. Never a dull moment when he was around, though, I'll give him that. As for you, boy, I've known you since you were a rosy-cheeked babe at the teat.
And my sister too, I gather. May I say what an honor it is to meet you again, my lady?
Spare me the hollow pleasantries, boy. I'll wager my remaining good teeth you didn't come to a forgotten corner of Eorzea to flirt with a wrinkly old woman. Now out with it. What is it you need of me?
I love her.
Azizla. I never thought I'd hear that name again.
You are familiar with it.
As familiar as one can get from poring over musty old tomes. The Allagons set the Isle afloat not long before the sun set on their empire. Old Louis Soir and I often talked about it. The place is home to a research facility dedicated to finding ways of mastering mighty beings, such as primals and dragons. And find ways it did too, frightening ones. Such secrets as lie buried on Azizla aren't fit to see the light of day. And now you tell me a band of dragon-baiting primal botherers are trying to dig them up?
Indeed. And to make matters worse, the Ascians have a hand in their plot. They must be stopped, no matter the cost.
I see. Very well.
You will help us then? Truly? I had not anticipated such an impassioned response. Could it be that the presence of young blood has stirred your own?
Ah, some things never change. One day that pertness is going to cost you your tail, my girl. Don't say I didn't warn you.
She's the best. So, for those not in the know, in Final Fantasy I for the Nintendo Entertainment System, way back in the day, there is a character named Matoya, who's a witch who you can find in a cave pretty early on in the game, and she has a whole bunch of little enchanted brooms sweeping the floors, and it's very cute. Did they say similar things? Yep. Speaking in reverse. Nothing to see here. Swish, swisharoo. It's very cute. I don't think the little frogs, those are new.
Greetings and welcome to my mistress's abode. How may I serve you, Ribbit?
What do you do here?
I am Toro Rago, a humble servant of Mistress Matoya, Ribbit. In Charlian, it is commonplace to make servants of animals and objects by imbuing them with intelligence. By my mistress's grace, I was raised from a lowly toad to become a Porogo capable of speech and reasoning. But be warned, Ribbit, for not all Porogos you meet will be as civilized and refined as I am. The masterless creatures outside the cave, for instance, will attack passers-by unprovoked. Left behind during the Exodus, they have taken leave of their powers of discernment. In addition to we Porogos, my mistress also has brooms for her servants. Together, we aid her in many and more ways, from her research to her daily needs. Indeed, there is no end to the tasks that want for doing, Ribbit.
What kind of place is this?
This cave is the hidden abode of Mistress Matoya, Ribbit. None are aware of its existence save you and your companions. When my mistress first made it her home, it wasn't the most inviting of places. For one, the floor was bestrewn with the bones of various creatures. But through my mistress's magics and the broom's tireless sweeping, it eventually became the snug place you see now. The dampness remains, to be sure, but that happens to be how we Porogos like it. I hope you do not mind, Ribbit.
Thank you for the explanation. And yes, also, this music you're hearing is a rearrangement of that original Matoya theme from Final Fantasy I. It's just very good. This is the sort of thing that Final Fantasy XIV does increasingly over time. It doesn't, necessarily connect itself to the other Final Fantasies. There's not going to be a character or a thing that drops in directly from another Final Fantasy who has just come to visit this world or anything. They kind of do that now and then as goofy event quests now and then, but really if they're going to pull in some previous bit of Final Fantasy iconography, they're going to create kind of a version that fits within the existing world here and sort of integrate it into Final Fantasy XIV. And some of those things become pretty important. And it's pretty cool. I really love this approach to it. It's great. Anyway, Matoya is in a mood to reminisce, and I'm in a mood to listen.
"'Twas some 50 years ago, shortly after Garlemald had brought all of Ilsabard under its rule. Faced with the threat of invasion, the people of Charlian scrambled about for a means to resist the Empire. For my part, I was tasked with developing an etheric converger.
Ah, yes, a device which draws in ether and concentrates it to produce a destructive force.
But as my research neared its end, it was denounced by the Forum, who claimed that my device was more likely to destroy us than our enemies. After that, they and I had a little falling out, and I decided to seal away all the fruits of my research, lest the dunder-headed ingrates reap any benefit. Ha! Petty, I know, but gods, it was satisfying.
Do mine ears deceive? 'Twas you, was it not, who was so fond of saying that all knowledge exists to advance mankind, that how it is used depends on us?
I don't remember. Perhaps. All right, yes. It was a pet phrase of mine. And that should give you a notion of how sick and tired I was of those spineless wretches of the Forum. All talk and no trousers, that lot. That's why I decided to remain behind, rather than join the Exodus.
You may have had your disagreements with my grandfather, but upon that point, your minds were as one.
With respect, Master, the fruits of your research should not be left to spoil. Will you share with us the secrets of the etheric converger?
Aye, I will. All the information you need is contained in a tome I wrote on the subject. But You'll have to fetch it from the forbidden section of the Great Library.
You were not exaggerating when you said that you had sealed it away. Though the city is abandoned, the library's guardians are all but certain to remain. We must needs cut a path through them. Come, let us away.
Well, got us another job to do.
Not so fast, you lot.
Oh,
Stola and the boy are staying with me. I need help to make new sentinels to replace the old ones you walloped. They'll be board and lodging, don't you worry. But know that you'll have to work for them. Hard. I'll have no sluggards in my house.
well, you two enjoy your chores. I'm going to go to fight the library. Oh, the great library's guardians shouldn't pose any difficulty for a hero like you. You'll hardly notice Stola's absence. And the girl, boy, whatever, would only get in your way. But if it turns out you aren't up to the task, well then I'll know you can't be trusted with something as dangerous as an etheric ram. Now, the library's entrance is locked tight. I'll loan you one of my servants to open it. The broom yonder. Well, what are you waiting for? Introduce yourself, boy. I'm going. Which broom? There's several brooms. Honestly, I want to talk to all the brooms. Oh. Let's sweeping love. I'm disrespectful to dust. Can you see that I am serious? That I can. Enchanted broom, help please.
Greetings, good sir. I am Broomsy, my lady's servant of some 50 years. May I say what an honor it is to serve you. I am given to understand you wish to enter the great Gubal library. To find it, pray head east upon leaving this cave. The building will come into view shortly after you reach the collapsed bridge. I shall go on ahead and await you at the entrance. When your preparations are in order, pray come and meet me there. It will be my pleasure to unlock the door for you.
It's a very well-spoken broom. All right, I'm off. To the library! Let's see. I think I can reach it this way. It's possible I'll have to actually go up that bridge to get up to the top floor here. Actually, that is very possible. Wait, I think I see stairs. The stairs might save me. Maybe. Yes? I think so. Ah, yay, it's going to work. Yay, stairs. And there is our library. Gorgeous. Them Charlians know how to build a building. And then leave it. Hello, Broomsy.
You stand before the great Gubal Library, one of Heideland's foremost repositories of knowledge. Alas, it has fallen into disuse since the Exodus, some summers since. In all those years, its halls have welcomed not the coming of a single soul. Its floors felt not the loving brush of a broom. Mine apologies, sir. Pray pay no mind to the dreams of a humble broom. You are doubtless eager to venture within and retrieve my lady's tome. I shall unlock the door at once. When you have what you seek, pray return to the cave and report to my lady.
You got it. It's a dungeon, everyone. A library dungeon. And a pretty fun one. Let me gather a little crew and we'll go to the library. Be right back. And just like that, we've got ourselves a crew for the library. We've got Therum, who will be playing our healer as a white mage, Alifa, who will be our tank as a paladin, and Lionel, who will help me with the damage as a summoner, and probably do better damage than me because of how it always goes. Let's get in there. Built by the learned men and women of Sharlayan, the Great Gubal Library is the grandest repository of knowledge in all of Eorzea. Lining its towering shelves are tomes beyond count, gathered from the farthest reaches of the realm. Like the city-state, however, the library was abandoned by its caretakers when they fled to their motherland in the face of Garlean invasion. And now, 15 years since its doors were sealed, you will be the first soul to set foot within its halls. Your destination is the forbidden section deep within the library, where lies your objective, the fruits of Matoya's research on the etheric converger. Let's get in there! Welcome to the library. The dungeons are getting so much more fun. In look, theme, music, all of it, really. And as is tradition. Looking good, everyone. Thank you for joining. I am very excited. All right, onward. Such style. Lionel, are you dressed up as a Pokemon trainer? Are you a summoner cosplaying as a Pokemon trainer? That is very cute. I dig it. Ooh, I'm gonna stop and read a thing real fast, just because I found a book. The rise of the Garlean Empire in the year 1522 of the 6th Astral Era led to significant changes in the structure of Garlean society. This is most evident in the adoption of titles which serve to indicate an individual's place within the social hierarchy. The following information was compiled with the aid of informants within the Empire and has yet to be verified. Royalty, Zos, the Emperor. Ye, member of the royal family in line for succession. Weir, member of the royal family with no claim to the throne. In the military, you've got Van, Legatus, Toll, a Tribunus Laticlavius, Sas, the Tribunus goodness, this is a lot, or Praefectus Castroium, Rem. Okay, this is a lot of titles. They got a lot of titles. But I'd never read this before, so that's fun. Anyway, I should go help. You remember last time how I mentioned how, like, way overboard these writers and world builders have gone with, like, figuring out all the naming conventions and ways the societies within these worlds work? They've really gone wild on it. And it helps. And now I'm going to read another book because they can't stop me. Public officials. Oh gosh, it's more. I'd never stop to read these. What a good joke. This hierarchy extends to the general populace as well, though it is far less complex. The majority of citizens bear the boss title, and there's a smaller group which appears to be comprised of respected artisans who've adopted the San title. The An title is bestowed upon the peoples of annexed territories and indicates that they lack even the most basic rights afforded to a citizen. However, many Garleans view this as an opportunity rather than a condemnation, as citizenship may be granted to those who have demonstrated exceptional skills, as well as those who've contributed 20 or more years of military service. Sounds like great fun. What a great empire to live in. Oh hey! A demon tome. Let's fight it. We're gonna beat up a book. So with this boss fight, positioning is the most important thing. You can't really get behind it, but you don't want to be standing in the danger puddles, first of all. And there'll be a few of those, but that's not really the real hazard. And one of the big reasons you don't want to be standing in this is that if you do happen to get caught by that danger puddle, it's going to hit you with a slow effect, which makes it a lot harder to move around. Which is fine for now, but we need to get on the other side here before that effect goes off, or it's going to kill us. And if you are slowed, that's a little bit harder, isn't it? Much more dangerous. But the dangers don't end there. Nope. Don't get caught in that, please. Because now, the floor is ice. So if I press in a direction, I will slide in that direction for a set amount of time and space outside of my own control. Which is perfectly fine if you're just wanting to stay still. But if you need to move, then you need to be very careful with that movement, don't you? Like, for example, if hypothetically the floor were ice, and then you needed to get to the other side, because there is a gap in that wall, so you need to be careful with the direction you slide. And it's gone now. Good boss. Anyway, further into the place. Ah, a page 64. I think that's a Final Fantasy V enemy, isn't it? It's a face in a book. Yeah, Final Fantasy V has a giant library. You gotta navigate as well. Sort of a more indirect reference. Ooh, another book. Don't mind if I do. Chapter 1. The Six Nativities and Myriad Creation. The spark of lightning ignites when it strikes, and thus fire is born. The heat of fire renders to ash all that it touches, and thus earth is born. The density of earth shuns sun and harbors cold, and thus ice is born. The armor of ice melts away, and thus water is born. The moistness of water mists and rises, and thus wind is born. The gusts and sighs of wind gather the clouds, and thus lightning is born. Chapter 2. The three conquests, boundless and unwavering. Earth grounds lightning, water erodes earth, lightning boils water. Chapter 3. The three submissions, timeless and unending. Fire is extinguished by wind, ice is melted by fire, wind is obstructed by ice. This is fun. This is fun flavor. I'll have to warn future groups that I'm going to do this ahead of time. I didn't actually let this group know that I was going to be stopping to read things because I forgot there were things to read, which I probably should have guessed. It's a library. They're good sports. Ooh, book. I'll let them wrap that up. Over the horizon. Though there is some debate as to whether or not Merlvib Blufisfin and her League of Lost Bastards were the first Eorzeans to discover the Western continent, there's no denying that their navigational charts were instrumental in establishing the major trade routes of today. Moreover, the accounts from their expedition are widely regarded as both informative and entertaining. Of particular note is their first encounter with the Mamulja, as well as other indigenous peoples and creatures which seemed curiously intent on their demise. These travel journals have since inspired a legion of explorers and treasure hunters to retrace the League's journey. Yet, in spite of their numbers, the existence of a bleedin' city of gold remains unconfirmed. Tales of the origins of... It's not Lenosha. Lenosha's the place. Of Limsa, that's the one. Before the Admiral ran things in a more official capacity as a not pirate. Alright. Ooh, secret passage. It's a cool library. And our next boss. Byblos. Bring it. The boss mechanics in this place are fun. So you gotta look out for that little charge move, which is going to target one of us, and there's no avoiding getting hit if you're the one getting charged at, but you can at least try to direct its charge away from everyone else. Don't get hit by the tail swipe. And then it's going to get protected inside this little book space. And the way that you get it out of that book space is first take care of these pages, and then whoever defeats it is going to start getting chased by a little orb, like so. You need to pull that orb into this thing and knock it out of there. Come on. Very slowly following me. Boom, there we go. If the orb hits you, it'll just hurt you and not help you at all. Oop. Don't like that. Look out for the tail. And once more with feeling. Where's the books? Oh, found book. Burn it down. And it's following me again. Great. Let's bust this thing out of here without running into its wind gusts. Come on. There we go. Ah, oil everywhere. You shall pay dearly, accursed mortals. You say that, but you are nearly dead here. And down you go. I'm undone, but my master's seal is broken. Onward to the last boss. The books in here are starting to look a little off. Ooh, book I can read. Yes, good. A leather-bound diary. Beauty is ephemeral, but it needn't be. My Lady Amandine knows this well, lovely creature that she is. Would that I could have the genuine article in my keeping, but, alas, I shall have to settle for a pale imitation. The vessel's not quite up to my usual standards, but beggars can't be choosers, as they say. I washed and anointed it per the instructions, then secured it to the bed with chains. Wouldn't want her to get ideas above her station, oh no. God, just the thought of it is enough to get my blood pumping. I can hardly wait to welcome my beloved succubus into this world. Interesting, so Lady Amandine was the boss of that, Hawk Manor place, early in A Realm Reborn. That succubus-type lady there. I can't remember who was responsible for that whole situation, but interesting that we've got a journal from a very old library describing those events. I guess that happened a lot longer ago than I thought. Or someone else has been in here in the library more recently. Which I guess is also possible. Here, you guys finish this thing. I'm gonna read a book. There's so many books. Oop. First boss cutscene, then book. And what a cool design, too. Yes, but book, though. The tentacles. So many tentacles, and the sound of it writhing on the bed. Gods, just listening to it is agony. I've made a terrible mistake. Yes, indeed. Fortunately, that book was short. All right. Let's go fight a thing. It's been very patient with us. The ever-living bibliotaph. And here we go! This fight is also fun. Alright. Lionel's being targeted, and it's dragging the attack over to that area because standing near that thing will hurt us. So we kind of want it out of our way. But now, we can't damage the boss until we have touched all of these little pillars of light. And fortunately, there's just one little pillar of light per area, which makes things nice and simple. It will not stay that way. Oh, two of them being targeted now. And now, two of us need to stand on each one of these little pillars. So here's two of us. Good. Oh, follow. Here we go. Two. And can we get to the last one? If we can't, then an enemy gets summoned in. Oh, also, we need to get in closer. And further away. Charge! Oh, I'm being targeted. Take it away, take it away, take it away! Not far enough. But it'll do. Whoop, targeted again. Okay. Take it to a different corner. Quick. Okay. Almost got it. Okay, now it needs three of us. Might as well just all run for this one. There's one. And two. There we go. Well done, team. I have been in many a pickup group that did not do so well on that part. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Eeh. Ooh, just barely got out of that one, and we win! Good job, team. Well fought, and looking good doing it. Here, I'll go ahead and get those cleared out. There we go. Thanks, all three of you, Lionel, Therum, and Alifa. You did great. Sorry for not warning you about the stopping and reading thing. I'll try to let y'all know that in the future. Y'all did great, though. Thank you ever so much. And yeah, let's continue the story then, shall we? Ooh, another. Just one left. Books really oughtn't to be glowing red like that. Well, let's get back. Everyone, I return. I got the book. You have the tome, yes? Then hurry and show it to Matoya that I might be free of her stifling attention. Ah yes, you two haven't seen each other in a while, have you? At the studium, I had the good fortune to be tutored by some of the finest scholars in Sharlayan. I can safely say, however, that Master Matoya exceeds them all. How I should have liked to listen to her arguing with my grandfather. I'd have loved to hear that. I take it you found the tome. Well, let's see it then. Here you go. On etheric convergence. Research compiled by Matoya on a device known as an etheric converger. Ah, this is it, all right. Stola, boy, put down whatever you're doing and come here. Derman has returned with the tome. Thank the gods. But another minute under Master Matoya's exacting supervision, and I would certainly have lost my mind. Or mayhap merely my temper. Some things never change indeed. Well, I for one appreciate the exacting supervision. In the short while we have been here, I feel like I've gained a far better understanding of arcane entities than I did during my entire time at the studio. Should the opportunity present itself, I should very much like to employ this knowledge for the betterment of mankind. Create a new variety of carbuncle, perhaps. Don't get ahead of yourself, boy. Louis Soir's grandson or no, it'll take another decade under me before you can call yourself a scholar, and a deal more than that to make you a scholar worth a damn. As you may have gathered, Master Matoya is not easily impressed. Indeed. So, Derman has returned with the tome, has he not? Shall we examine it? Let's do. Actually, let's do next time. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will examine that tome on Monday. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next time for the book, and for more things. Take care, and goodbye.